Hi guys, I'm coming to you live from New York State. If you've been following me for some time now, you know that I'm a registered nurse who comes from Ghana, lives in US and works in US as a registered nurse. Yes. And I always mention that I went to a very, very good high school called OLA Secondary. It's a Catholic girls school in Volta region of Ghana, West Africa. OLA simply stands for Our Lady of Apostle. It's a very strict Catholic girls school. You can tell if you've ever worked with me and my work ethics and everything, Ola will really shape you. So I'm a proud product of Ola Girls, and today, as the topic depicts, I'm sitting down with two of Ola proud gems. One happens to be my very own namesake, Priscilla, and she also happens to be my very own classmate. We sat in the same class and studied science together. And the other one, Theodora Bansah, happens to be my junior. She was also in Joseph House, where I was affiliated, or the dormitory as you can call it. And they did something marvelous. Most of you have heard in the news that they delivered at Quintuplets. And today they're going to tell us all about the process, the experience, the expectations, the challenges, and the success story. Ola Girls is very proud of us. Most of us are out there doing marvelous things. If nobody has seen you, keep doing the great thing because somebody else is watching. And you, the young ones watching, look up to us. We are role models. Pick the good person, good ones that will set good examples for you. Ola Girls is a good secondary school. So if you're considering taking your girl child to any school in Ghana, you want to consider Ola Girls Secondary School. There are two types of Ola. The Ola is the one I went to in Ho, not the one in Kenya, so don't get it wrong. So, who am I? My name is Priscilla Awuku. As I said, a registered nurse, married, live and work in New York. I own this channel. I share nursing, migration, lifestyle, food, travel, and anything else. And I'm the lead consultant for US RN Pathway Consult. We help nurses who schooled outside the US and who want to work in the USA. We help you convert your credentials to match the American standard so that you'll be able to write the US licensure and work here. If you already live in the US, you came into the US as a registered nurse, ignore those squirrels, they are all over. You came into the US as a registered nurse and do not know where to start from. Yes, we can help you reach out to your home country, get the necessary documents, and come work in the US. If you live outside the US and your dream is to be a nurse here, we work with psychiatry nurses, general nurses, and midwives. Enough of the talking. Let's just go chit-chat with the physician assistant Priscilla and the medical doctor, Dr. Bansah. Ola is very proud of us. And let's have this conversation. Subscribe to this channel, share my video with other people, and I'll see you in my next video. So guys, welcome to my channel. As I said already, we have the two marvelous Ola ladies who delivered the quintuplets, 5 babies. And I'm so happy that I know them personally. One of them, as I said, is my namesake. We sat in the same class. She's a personal friend, Priscilla. She's a physician assistant. On the left, she's the one wearing the scraps because she just got off work. And Dr. Theodora Bansah, she's the one in the African print. She happens to be my junior. I'm very proud of you ladies. Welcome to the channel. How are you all doing?
We are good. We are doing very well. How are you too?
I'm okay, a little exhausted, but it is what it is. I'm so proud of you ladies for what you've done. You recently made the news in Ghana, and I'm glad to know you too. So can you please introduce yourself to our viewers one at a time, please?
Yeah. My name is Dr. Miriam Theodora Bansah.
Okay.
And I'm a medical officer at St. Martin's de Porress, Agormanya, in the Eastern region, Ghana. Also the clinical coordinator of the hospital.
That's right.
And mostly in the maternity, that is the OBGYN department, most of it. Okay. I do cesarean section, other procedures.
So, as you earlier on mentioned, my name is Priscilla Awuku, a physician assistant working at St. Martin's de Porress. And as a physician assistant, automatically I'm part of the clinical team. So I happen to work in all of the departments, but I'm mostly at the outpatient department where I offer general consultation services to clients who come, and then I also manage their conditions that they come with.
So we're gonna take it back a little bit. We'll start from secondary school, Ola Girls, where we met several years back, almost 17 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so Priscilla, you and I were in the same class. You studied science, and now you're a physician assistant. Theodora, you were a year behind us, so that is 2007, right? Okay, and I think you studied general arts, correct? Okay, so yeah, so what motivated you to go into the fields that you are in medicine? What made you study medicine, and how has that journey been like? Quick summary.
Okay, so in OLA, in Form 2, I used to take care of my classmates. I always had this first aid bag, like a handbag full
I
of drugs.
remember.
So I went to my classmates and other colleagues back in school. So I think my classmates liked me because I was doing better than the infirmary nurse. But then, but then I wanted to be a news anchor, so I used to read in the chapel at school.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
But then I realized I was taking good care of my classmates. I could easily diagnose malaria, and then I'll just give them then quinine 442, and they get well. So I was like, maybe I have to be a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
So that was where the whole thing started. But in actual fact, I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to read the news. I wanted to be seen on TV because I was reading and people liked it. So yes, that was how the whole medical thing started. So after OLA Secondary School, I told my parents, oh, I want to do nursing. Then they were like, okay. So we bought the nursing training forms. Then I have an uncle who is a priest and also a professor at the University of Ghana Medical School. He's the dean of School of Arts. He heard that I wanted to do nursing, and then he had a friend whose daughter was studying medicine in Ukraine. So he spoke to that friend and told him about me wanting to do nursing. So this uncle of mine, who happens to be a priest, spoke to my parent that maybe Esinam can go and do her nursing in Europe. What do you think? So my parents welcomed the idea, and then they decided that I go to Europe to read nursing for 5 years and come back. So we went to an agency in Accra, Kaneshi, and then the agent was like, "Oh, you did very well in your WASI. I think you should read medicine instead of the nursing. Nursing is 5 years, medicine is 6 years. So why don't you do the medicine instead of the nursing?" I told him, oh, but I don't have a science background. He said, this one you can do medicine. We've sent students outside who were able to read medicine, who did business, general arts, and the other courses. So I think you can do it. So don't worry, just be determined. So I told my parents that, okay, I think I want to do medicine. Then they were really worried. So they got me a school in Ukraine, a school in Ternopil, to go and read the nursing. Then everything went on well. I got to Ukraine, but I didn't go to Ternopil. I went to a city called Kharkiv. So in Kharkiv, I met the School of Foreign Dean of Foreign Students for the medical school. And I told him, oh, I want to read nursing in Ternopil. Why am I here? He said, oh, don't worry. We heard about you. You are going to write an exams. Whatever be the case, if you make it here, you stay here and read medicine. So that was how come I started the medicine. I was the only female in my course for 4 years. We were 6 Ghanaians, 3 Arabs. A class had maximum of 10 students, but my class were just 8. So for the first 4 years, I was the only female. So there's this thing called girl child. The guys will pamper you, they will help you. My colleagues from Ghana knew I didn't have a science background, so they really helped me a lot. Yes. So that is my journey so far.
Nice. This is an interesting story. Wow. So you went there to do nursing, but ended up doing medicine, and see how far you've come. And I think when you came back from Ukraine, you were doing your housemanship in a Whole Teaching Hospital, and that's where we met once again in a friend's house. And so after the Whole Teaching Hospital, that's when you came to where you are currently, right?
After the house job in first year house job in Whole Teaching Hospital, I went to St. Dominic's Hospital in Akwitia.
Okay.
Yes, I did the OBGYN and internal medicine rotations there.
Okay.
In Whole Teaching Hospital, I did pediatrics and then surgery rotation. Okay. So from Akwitia, I moved here for locum. You know what locum is?
Yes, part-time job, side hustle.
For my posting. Okay. So I had a locum here in July. No, the day we delivered the quintuplets was exactly 3 years I was in this hospital.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. 3 years I started here. So I had a locum. Then the posting came in December and I was posted back to Akwitia. But I liked the town, Agormanya town. So I spoke to the administration that, I would love to work here. So I don't want to go back to Akwitia. And then I got here.
Wow. I'm very glad you stayed. And just to dwell on the point a little bit, so people think that if you didn't do science, you can never become a doctor. And if you did business, something you can. But times have changed. A lot of things have changed. So just not to discourage anybody, do your research well. She did general arts and she's a medical doctor and she's doing very well. And obviously she's in the news. So she must be doing something spectacular. So let's move to Priscilla. Yes, tell us. So from OLA Secondary School, how did you develop the interest to be a PA? I didn't even know anything called physician assistant when we were in OLA. So how did you hear about it?
Okay, so for me, right from OLA, after our results came in, I also, like Theodora, you get your results, you look for where you would like to go and further your education. Mm-hmm. So results in I already had a passion to enter into the medical field already, because I don't know, I just love to help people get better. I hate seeing people being in pain and suffering because of ill health. So I already had a desire to be in the medical field. So when the results came in and my mom took me to one of her friends at Pantine Hospital for him to look at my results and see if I can do either medicine or nursing. So he was a doctor. He looked at the results and he said the results were not that good enough to do medicine, but I can do nursing. And that was when he also said there's a course known as physician assistant. Initially, it was for only post-basic nurses, but during my time, they started accepting direct students from secondary school. So he said it was also a good course. If I'm able to do it and I do very well, I pass very well, I can further and go and do the medicine in another school. So that's how I ended up doing the PA at Quintuplets, and it has been.
Wow. So it looks to me like we all had to have a friend or a family member or a relative who guided us. That means that enough career counseling was not done back in school for us to know that even if you do arts, you can do this. If you do business, you can do that. My story personally, as most of you know, my dad was the Volta Regional chief physiotherapist. He was also in Whole Teaching Hospital. Then they used to call it Trafalgar. And he was like, okay, to visit him in the hospital, and I used to see nurses walk around, and he says, I'm pretty smart, I move so quick, I like to care for people, so he thinks I should do nursing. So basically friends and relatives and parents guided us. So I think we should, now that we know what we know now, we can also go back to our various schools, whatever school anybody went to. If you're watching this, you can just go show yourself that I'm a living evidence. I studied this, I'm this, and I think it will help the younger ones behind us. So yes, let's go back to the topic of the day. So this patient, was she always your patient? Did she start from prenatal? Was she coming there as a patient?
She wasn't my patient. In fact, that morning was the first time I was seeing her. She's a patient somewhere around Takwa. She lives in the Western region with their husband. She has 5 kids, 2 sets of twins, 2 girls, and then a boy. So she came all the way here to deliver, to have her babies here. Usually that is what happens in Ghana.
Because she's
a native here. Her relatives are here who are going to help her deliver.
Okay.
Before that case, Priscilla and myself were
that's morning.
From 9 p.m. the 12th of July, 9 p.m. There was a road traffic accident on the Pong Akosombo Tema Highway. 11 people were rushed in. So we were just busy with them, suturing, cleaning, and the rest. Then I had a call that a young lady, a 35 years old woman, has come bleeding PV. She's 28 weeks. So I was like, 28 weeks. She's aborting. 28 weeks. It's not a term pregnancy. So I told them they should monitor her, resuscitate her, and then monitor her. So when I'm done at the emergency, I'll pass by. God be so good. We're able to attend to the 11 casualties.
Wow.
I had another call that the woman is seriously contracting. So I went there to do my examination. The midwife told me the symphysiofundal height, the SFH, is 50. Then I was like, we should be looking at a multiple gestation. Then she told me, I can perceive 2 feet hearts. There's a third one, but it's faint. So when I got there, when I saw the abdomen, I was like, no, this is more than 28 weeks. We have to go in. So quickly, they had to prepare her for an emergency cesarean section. So we were thinking we were going to deliver triplets. Perceived 3 fetal hearts, but the third one was faint. So we were assuming it was dead or something. And then the woman had what we call placenta abruptio. She was bleeding. The abdomen was very, very tense, and she was complaining of severe abdominal pain and waist pain. So there was no need to waste time, monitor her to deliver SVD. And then when we did the Leopold's maneuver, what the presentation of the first leading twin was not cephalic, it was transverse. So it was an indication for an emergency cesarean section. So we went to theater. Everybody was ready. We started the procedure. I took the first baby out. It was the first baby was in its sac. Then I tried to get the second one. It was also in its sac. Then I went in again because I could see that bulging sac. So I brought it out, making 3. So I was like, okay, let me try and get the placenta. Then I see another sac with the 4th baby. So I, hey Charlie, they are 4. I was scared. I was scared. Then the 4th one came. I could see another one. I was like, no, Charlie, something is going on. You know, it never occurred to any of us in the theater to take a picture or something. Priscilla had to go and wear gown and then take the other babies because the midwives were only 3. We had to call for help for other people to come around. It was around 2 a.m. Then finally the 5th baby came, and then I tried to look for the placenta. There was a huge placenta. So all these babies were in their sacks, but they shared one placenta.
Whoa. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Really? Man, this is like history, record breaking. Wow. 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 So, yeah. So let's go back a little bit. If somebody was going for prenatal in a different facility and decides to come to your end, do they show up on the day of delivery or until an emergency comes up before they show up? Are they not supposed to present themselves, register, then you look at their scans that they bring with them? How is this supposed to flow ideally, please?
it's just few people who come to register with us. Then we take a different history, do our own. It's just few, about 5% of the population. The rest just report the day they are supposed to deliver. They come in as emergency, and usually they come in the night. Sometimes they even come without bringing anything at all for delivery. So we have to use our own resources to do the things for it. Like particular, she never came. She has been in town for like a month. She never reported yet. So she has only one scan, which showed it was a triplet. The scan couldn't pick all the 5. So even that night, we tried doing a scan. We also saw two, but we could see a head somewhere. She never reported when she came from Takwa.
Wow. So I think enough education. I think education has to be done. Most people don't know that this is how they have to do. If you change facilities, you have to present your case, bring your file, bring everything with you. I don't know whether you are paperless where you are, but some systems are linked. So anything they do, you'd see it carries over. This is the ideal situation. Maybe I'm speaking from the American lens, where by the time the patient comes, if they went to a state in California or whatever, everything is linked, so you see it. Yes, I think we have to educate the public and let them know if you are moving from another facility, they don't know anything about you. So you need to come in, take a whole scan. I had my personal friend lost a child. She transferred from Accra to Ho to go deliver. And then everything was fine. The last scan she did in Accra, everything was fine. Anyway, she had a stillbirth and lost the first child. It was very traumatic. And I felt like if she had come to Ho and reported and they had done scans and seen, they would have known the most current state of the child. Wow, such an experience that will go down history, never be forgotten. So the team, how many people make up the team normally in the theater? A doctor, who are the people in there during the delivery?
The doctor, the doctor's assistant, the anesthetist, a midwife and her assistant, a circulating nurse. So, we are 7. We are supposed on the team, but that night we're 10.
Okay. So I assume Priscilla was not in the room at all. You were on the OPD, working at the OPD, attending to the accidents.
You know what? After the emergency in the casualty, just go. Usually she will see me off at the maternity entrance. So I don't know. She just followed me.
Wow.
And sometimes when she's on duty and I'm on duty and I have a case in theater, she will come and observe. She will sit around. So that night, she followed me as usual. Then she was in the theater because I don't know. I think God,
the staff was
enough.
So you remember we were calling people.
The theater staff wasn't enough that night. There were only 2.
Yes.
There were only 2. So she joined to help. We even had to call somebody from another ward to come, making us 10. So Priscilla took the 4th baby and was wrapping, cleaning, doing what the midwives, assisting, labeling, all those things. Because I still can't. I don't even want to think about that night. I was in shock. I have never done that before. Okay, there was a day I was going to deliver a twin gestation. Then I found 3.
Okay.
Yes, it happened sometime before, and then that was okay. But this is 5, so it's quite scary.
Wow. So Priscilla, back to you. How big is the facility you work in? How many wards or departments do you have?
The structure is small. For a whole lot of services. We have a male ward, we have a female ward, we have the pediatric ward, we have a casualty unit, and then we have the maternity unit. Those are for the inpatient services or inpatient care. And then we have the OPD, and then we have the antenatal and then the postnatal unit. We also have the unit for child health care, and then we also have a unit for public health.
Wow.
So we also have units where we do physio. We have a unit for eye. We have nutritional units. We do laboratory services as well. We do the diagnostic imaging, scan, X-ray as well. So yeah, it's a small facility. Yeah, thick.
We do cervical screening.
Oh, okay, nice. Wow, that's a lot of services that you render over there. I see. Yes. And let me take you back a little bit one more time. You did physician assistant course. Where did you study that, and how long was the program? Like 2 years, 3 years?
So I did the physician assistant course at Quintuplets, of Health and Well-being.
Okay.
And it lasted for 4 years. You do 3 years on campus, then the other 1 year plus your national service and your internship, making it 4 years.
Okay. And the certificate awarded, what is the equivalence?
It's awarded is diploma.
Okay. Okay. And I think Central University also has that program, but it's a bachelor's. It's a degree, right?
Yes. Central University and other universities now are offering it, and they offer the degree. Said I worked for some time, and then I went back to do a top up to get a degree.
Okay, yes, I remember you did that. Nice. So the job description between a physician assistant and a doctor, what are the things you cannot do? Just mention 2 of that, and we can move on to another topic.
So what I can do as a physician assistant is performing major surgeries, like the laparotomy and other invasive procedures. I cannot do. Yes, but offering general consultation, preparing a care plan for a patient, you can do that.
Okay. Do you work autonomously? Do you work on your own, or do you always have to consult a doctor when you want to take an action?
You work on your own, but supervision. It doesn't mean the doctor has to be there to be advising you.
Okay.
There are some situations that may be above your skill, so you have to get them involved. Yes.
Yeah. Physician assistants and nursing practitioner, they are big deals here. They work independently, and it's very intense. Okay, so back to you, Akushika. Did you specialize in OBGYN, obstetrics, and gynecology, or how did you end up in that field?
I haven't specialized yet.
Okay.
It's general rotation I did, and I developed the skills during the rotation. So back in my house, this job in Akwitia, I was the only house officer for 4 months. I met colleagues there who were left with like 4 weeks, 6 weeks to go to finish the rotation. So when they left, I was the only junior among specialists and consultants. So they taught me how to do, because a consultant wouldn't be doing CS. So I developed the skills. It was back to back. So it was in Akwetia I met great doctors. I don't know if I can mention their names.
Oh, you can give them a shout out. They will love it.
Dr. Mausi, Dr. Kwe. Yes, they were the specialists. So they gave me the time to start doing cesarean sections. Yes. So I was the only house officer for 4 months there, and I think that is how come I earned the skills very well too.
Yes. Your story is very unique. After talking to you, I can say that we can add only to your middle name, because number 1, I think you're the only art student from your class that is a medical doctor. Number 2, you were the only female in your class in Ukraine for 4 years. Number 3, you were the only house officer for 4 months. So we can equally add only to your middle name. Yes. So Ola, people want to associate and be affiliated to us. Priscilla, I know you were in Maria Goretti. Theodora, were you in Joseph House with me?
St. Joseph.
Yes.
Yes.
You were, which dorm were you? I was in Joseph Dorm 1. Were you in the same dorm with Patience Gary?
I was in dorm 4.
Dorm 4. Who were your dorm mates? I cannot remember.
I used to come to your dorm.
I know.
I had a friend, Linda and Eunice.
I can't forget. I know you were very close with Linda. So I remember very well you were in Joseph House. So I was eager to associate you to us. So Joseph House, you have me, you have Dr. Theodora Bansah, and Maria Goretti, you have Priscilla. So she's on her own sunning somewhere. I'm so happy that
there are a whole lot of girls doing very well, just that we've not yet.
Please, this channel is open to all. I know this channel is open to all. I cannot wait to interview my fellow OLA girls, anybody else who went to OLA who has a story to share. Please come find me. As soon as you reach out to me, I'm always looking for people to interview. I love what I do, and if you are doing something great in your field, or you know somebody who is doing something great in your field, I think that we need to just come out, share the information, encourage others. You might not know. I've learned a lot. I didn't know that nursing in Ukraine is a 5-year program. I just learned that on the show. Every interaction I have with somebody, I learn something new. So the 5 babies came out. What was their state? What was their birth weight? How were they doing? Did they need resuscitation, oxygen? What was the gas score? Yes, I got that right.
Oh, the 5 babies were doing well when they came out. The upgrade, all of them was 6 on 10, 7 on 10. All of them recorded the same upgrade.
Wow.
Then the weight for the 5th and 4th twin were 0.6 kilograms. Then the 3rd, 2nd one were between 0.7 to 0.9 kilograms. So on the first day, they needed oxygen. Of course, their lungs were not matured, so they were on oxygen. Saturations were fine on oxygen. The reflexes were weak, as usual. So they were. The problem we had was not enough incubators.
That was my next question. Yeah.
So we had to make arrangements to refer them to Kolebu as soon as we can. Okay. But were little challenges getting an ambulance to transport all 5. So we had an ambulance the next day, which was the Thursday, 14th July. So in the morning of that day, we got an ambulance and we referred them to Kolebu.
Wow. And they were all girls, 5 girls?
Girls, yes.
And she had already had 2 set of twins. So 2 girls and a boy.
Boy.
So a single. She has 9 girls and 1 son. So yeah. So what were some of the challenges you faced? And what do you think are the solution? Obviously, you didn't have enough incubator. You didn't have enough staff on ground. And she didn't get the education to come and report from the day she touched down in Accra and all. So what are some of the challenges in your line of work? Priscilla, you can start with be it OPD, wherever. What has been your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge has to do people health behaviors. Some don't report on time. They wait till the illness had a great toll on them before they come. And when it happens that way, it makes them keep long in the facility. And you know, when you are keeping so long in the facility, you are on admission, the cost involved and all that are challenging. So I wish that people would change their health-seeking behaviors and report on time for early treatment to prevent complications.
Yes. Dr. Bansah.
So to add to what Priscilla said, this goes to the, working in the maternity in a rural setting as Agormanya, it can be tedious and it's sad. You come across pregnant women who are non-attendants. They only report when they are in labor. Or you want to refer a case for specialist management and the relatives are not forthcoming with the referral. they tell you, no, we don't want to go, we want to go home. Or you want to refer a case to the region, you call an ambulance, and there is no ambulance available for you to refer your case. What do?
Wow.
I had to refer twins preterm at 29 weeks on account of severe birth asphyxia. I made this call around 6:30 a.m. to the ambulance. They tell me there's no ambulance available. And my incubator is not adequate for these babies. So what do? And they tell me to keep calling. So what do I do as a doctor? What happened to the babies? Should something happen? Who are they? They are going to question me. So who didn't do her work well? I can't refer them in a taxi or in a private car. I can refer them in a private car, but is it appropriate? The setting. How am I going to position them in the car with the oxygen? So these are some of the challenges with the poor referral system.
Okay. Wow. So your hospital is located in the eastern region of Ghana. Can you give me the full name one more time?
St. Martin's de Porress Hospital. It's
okay. Okay, I was gonna say the Catholic hospital. So anybody watching this, if you're attached, you think that you have an incubator or anything you want to donate to the hospital, you can go find them, make the arrangements. I'm sure they will really, really appreciate it. This video will definitely go far, so we never know who will knock on your doors. I'm very, very proud of you too. Any words of encouragement to the younger ones watching, it can be whatever they want to be, and anything at all. Any last words before I let you guys go? Priscilla. Go for it.
For me, I think that whatever, for the younger ones, whatever you desire to do in life, ask questions, read about it, look for information, approach people who can help you get those necessary information that you need to attain that dream. Don't give up. And for my colleagues, I just want to encourage them to keep working harder. It's very difficult working with humans, you see. So sometimes the provocations and all that, we should keep working harder and bear with our patients as well. And then I think God will bless us and take us to higher places. Yeah.
Okay. Before I forget, two things. Do you know the current state of the children today as we speak? Are they home? Have they been discharged from where you refer them to?
They are still there. We lost them.
Oh, we lost two?
We lost two, so we currently have 3 and they are doing well. They are still on admission in Kolebu.
Okay.
We lost them the day they were transporting them to Kolebu.
So in transit on the way, one of them died in the ambulance. Okay. Then when they got there, maybe the next day or the same day, another died.
We delivered them on Wednesday. We transported them on Thursday, and we lost 2 on Thursday. We lost the ones with the 0.6 kg.
Yeah. Oh, so we have 3 who are still alive and doing well. Okay. Thank you very much. I am very proud of you. And also your team. You made the headline and all. So anybody want to say shout out to the people who were present in the theater with you? You can mention their names and just say thank you. Their first name or their full name is okay.
They have to be known because I'm the only one. It was a team. So the anesthetist, Francisca, aka Somwa Mami.
Okay.
Miss Kusia Samwa. She was the assistant. Yes. Then Jacqueline Jemfi. Jacqueline. She was circulating. And then Esther. I've forgotten her surname. She was from male ward. She came to assist us. Then the midwives, Betty Barr, Selena Entry, and Margaret Labby. Yes.
Okay. So those were the people that were present.
The one who received the babies. And Priscilla was all around. At a point, she was waiting. She was a midwife, labeling, taking the babies, labeling, they are giving the labels, everything. Then the nurse who received the babies in NICU, Miriam Gripman, she did very well. After the she did very well too.
Yes. So I'm doing this because when the news broke out, it was you I saw. And I know personally that the two of you are very good friends. So I reached out to Priscilla and I said, I know you are in the team. I know you were part. Then she just laughed. And I said, I'm going to give to you your flowers because you deserve it. So I also acknowledged her in our various OLA groups. And I think that if I am in a group and I'm just the one being highlighted, I like to pull others along. So I'm very glad that you have mentioned everybody that was part of the team. Congrats to the whole team. Now people will be coming more to deliver, and hopefully they come with their resources. People come and donate and stuff like that. So you mentioned the people that were parts of the team whilst you were in the theater. And do you have any other OLA ladies in your facility? I know one personally, Zenobia. Do you have any other OLA girls you want to give shout out to that you work with?
Yes, the hospital accountant.
Okay. What's her name?
Emilia Maud Kuto. I think she completed in 96.
Okay.
They are currently celebrating the 68th
anniversary.
Yes, 25 years. Yes. So she's an old girl.
Okay.
No, there's a midwife. Yes, she was my junior. When I was in Form 3, she was in Form 1. My Etienne.
That name rings a bell, though. Yes. And who else?
Yes, she's the only one. But then we have bobus. Can we acknowledge them? Two bobus. No.
You can acknowledge wherever there's a poga, there's a bobu. So bobus.
Yeah. A bobu. There's a bobu at the mental health department. Adamu. Naziv Adamu.
Okay. And just one bobu?
No, that's all.
Okay. So, and Zenobia Becker, she's still at your facility?
Yes, she's still here.
Okay. So she's also a POG. I think she's your mate, 2007, right? Okay. So everybody take your shout out. Congrats to the team. St. Martin, the Porress Hospital staff. Everybody, you've done a good job. You're in the news. And I pray that anytime you come in the news, it has to be a positive news for sure. And so what are your last words before we go? Priscilla had a turn, so it's back to you again.
Okay, so looking at my background, I'll say determination is the key to everything.
Okay.
Focused on what you want. When I went to Ukraine, I was always watching my back. I didn't want to disappoint my parents and my uncle. I didn't want to. So I was determined to become someone, because first year, a Ghanaian lady who was also doing medicine said, hey, now one year science will be medicine. Then meaning you didn't read science. How can you read medicine? Then one of my classmates, yes, I'm not going to mention his name, said, oh, I don't think you can complete this course with us. He's my good friend. And I always thank him for saying that, because that thing kept me on my toe. So at every class, I make sure to do well so that I'll be promoted and even read and understand if I don't know. So he said, oh, you didn't read science. I don't think you can graduate with us. I think you should go and read your nursing. So I didn't fall on those words. I kept praying to God that, God, please, if it is your will that I become a doctor, let me be a doctor. It wasn't an easy journey. Yes, it wasn't an easy journey at all. Those who knew me when I came to Ghana can tell you what I went through, which I can't disclose. So you should be determined. Even now, I always tell myself I have to do well than what I'm doing. I don't see myself doing anything. This is nothing. Anybody can just meet it. You understand? So the word is to be determined. That's all.
Okay. This is very sad that people can just see you and judge you or just shut you down or just conclude on your life.
And I met an African American in Ukraine when I was in first year. She was in the third year. She had her basics in fine art. She said she did fine art
Sculpture, yeah.
in a university in Nigeria. So they won the American lottery and they moved to the States. That was where she developed nursing or medicine, something. So she came to Ukraine to read medicine. Today she's working in one, I've forgotten the state where she is. So I was always looking up to her that if this person did fine arts, she doesn't have any science background, then I can also do the same thing. I even met a Ghanaian. She was in her final year. She read business in the secondary school. I'm not going to mention her school because if I mention people, she read business. Today she's one of the big doctors in Ghana. So you see, it's not about science or whatever. Anybody, once you are determined, you can be whatever you want to be.
Exactly.
That's very, very true, because I know a Ghanaian, I'll be sharing the video very soon. She did fine arts. She lives here. She did fine arts, something. Anyway, she's in nursing school. She'll be done next year. So that thing that if you do this course, you cannot do this, and we are killing people's dreams. There are people who are great engineers, great doctors, great nurses, but because of people saying you studied this, you can't do this, they feel trapped. But today we've shed a lot of lights on that. You can be whatever you want to be so far as you're determined. And like years back, I know that you shared something with me, and if I say this, you'll be very surprised because I still remember. I have a very good memory. I remember when you were doing your national service somewhere, you wrote a note. There was a case and you wrote a note, and the medical doctor read through the notes and canceled it twice. He crossed it out. I will never forget. Yeah. As I'm even sharing it, there's tears in my eyes. So you were very hurt. You were very disturbed that how can I write a note and a doctor will cross it out. And I told you, don't worry, just prove that person wrong. You'll be a great physician assistant. And I'm glad. You're surprised. I still remember, right? Yeah. Yeah, I will never forget. So yeah, I will never forget. And I'm glad you didn't give up. You went further to be that great physician assistant that you are. The sky is no longer the limit. You can go beyond it. So I'm very proud of you. Ola is proud of us. We are all doing very well in our own fields. We are running our own races. We are not competing with anybody. And I pray God blesses us all, blesses our hands are healing hands. And any patient that passes through our hands will be healed in Jesus' name. Thank you for coming and have a good day. It's been lovely chatting with you.
Having you too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.